Have you ever stopped to wonder what really separates the most successful people from everybody else? It's not just about luck or being in the right place at the right time. It's something deeper, something that starts right between your ears. There's this incredible story that shows just how powerful this is, how our thoughts don't just influence our reality, they literally create it.
Napoleon Hill, in his classic book Think and Grow Rich, totally nailed this idea with this one simple line. What you think about, you become. It's this idea that whatever thoughts we let dominate our mind, well, those are the things that eventually show up in our lives. Whatever you focus on, that's where you're headed. It's such a foundational rule for success.
Okay, but that brings up a pretty big question, right? I mean, if it's really that simple, just think the right thoughts, then why isn't everyone successful? Why do so many of us feel stuck, like we just can't change our situation no matter what we do? It's a real paradox.
Well, the answer, or at least a huge clue, can be found in a surprisingly simple story. It's about a man who had absolutely nothing, just living day to day in a packed train station. And his journey, man, it reveals the tiny but critical shift in thinking that changes absolutely everything.
So let's set the scene. Picture a bustling railway station, just buzzing with people on their way somewhere. Our story starts right here, with a man whose entire existence, his whole world, is defined by one single action: taking. For him, survival isn't about creating or exchanging, it's just about hoping someone gives him something.
Every single day was exactly the same. He survived on what other people gave him, holding out his hand for a few coins. But here's the crucial part. It's not just what he did, it's what he believed. He didn't just act like someone who only receives. Deep down, he saw himself as only a receiver. He was completely convinced he had absolutely nothing of value to offer anyone.
And then one day, the routine gets completely shattered. A sharp, well-dressed businessman walks onto the platform. And this encounter, it isn't just about getting another coin. It's a moment that's about to challenge the beggar's entire view of the world. The beggar goes up to him, expecting the usual, but instead of money, he gets hit with this startling question. Just imagine hearing that. It wasn't meant to be an insult. It was a real question that just cut right to the core of his identity. It's a thought that had probably never, ever crossed his mind before.
And in that one moment, you see these two mindsets just collide. On one hand, you have the beggar's way of thinking. Survival is all about passively receiving things. It's a state of helplessness. But then, you have the businessman's mindset. You thrive based on exchange. The core idea is, if you want to get value, you've got to give value first. And suddenly, the beggar is forced to see his world through this completely new lens.
The businessman gets on his train and leaves, but his words, they don't go anywhere. They're just left hanging in the air, echoing in the beggar's mind. And this is where the real story begins, not on the platform, but inside the beggar's head. A kind of internal revolution is about to kick off.
His first reaction is just despair, right? I mean, he thinks, I'm a beggar. By definition, I have nothing. This is that moment of crisis where his old identity is fighting back against this new, impossible idea. His brain is just screaming at him, I have nothing to give.
For 2 whole days, he's so obsessed with this thought that he doesn't even beg. He just sits there. Then, on the 3rd day, he notices something he's probably walked past 1,000 times but never really seen: a little patch of wildflowers growing near the train tracks. And in that moment, a light bulb goes off. An idea starts to bloom. You see, he was finally starting to get it. He was beginning to understand that core idea the businessman lived by. It's not about taking, it's about trading. He realizes that success isn't about what you can get, it's about what you can give. And that's the principle he's about to put to the test. So his new plan is incredibly simple. But for him, it's revolutionary. He starts offering a flower for every coin someone gives him. And something amazing starts to happen. People happily take the flowers, and his donations actually start going up. He's not just a taker anymore, he's part of a transaction. This tiny little change in his actions leads to this monumental change in his results. And even more importantly, it starts changing how he sees himself. He's slowly, bit by bit, shedding that old identity and starting to step into a new one. So one day, guess who he sees on the platform again? The same businessman. He excitedly rushes over, offers him a flower for his coin, and the businessman just smiles. And then he says these incredibly powerful words, validating the change that's already happening. He doesn't see a beggar anymore, he sees an equal.
And this is the ultimate epiphany. It's a complete 180 in how he sees himself.
He realizes people aren't giving him money out of pity anymore. They are paying him for a product. This discovery, that he has the ability to create value, changes absolutely everything. He's not a beggar. He's a trader. He's in business.
So, with this new identity fully locked in, he makes a bold move. He leaves the railway station for good, vowing never to come back as a beggar. The stage is now set for this final, incredible transformation.
Okay, fast forward 6 months. We're at the very same station, and two men in sharp suits are meeting. One of them looks familiar but completely different. The whole scene is a world away from where this story began.
The original businessman just stares in total disbelief. He's struggling to connect this confident, successful man standing in front of him with the beggar he met all those months ago. The change on the outside is so total, it's almost unbelievable.
And here it is, the result of that internal shift. The man who used to be a beggar now runs a thriving flower business. He's not at the station to beg, he's traveling to expand his company. And here's the key lesson. His world on the outside didn't change until his world on the inside, his own identity, changed first.
This is the moral of the story, right here. His potential to be a businessman was inside him the entire time. The poverty, the begging, that was all just a temporary state based on a belief that held him back. The moment he changed that belief, the second he decided to see himself differently, he unlocked the potential that was always there.
And really, that's the powerful idea at the heart of this whole story. It's not our circumstances that define us. It's our perception of ourselves in those circumstances. If you see yourself as small, you'll act small. But if you see yourself as capable of more, well, you can achieve incredible things.
So, as we wrap this up, the story leaves us with a really personal and powerful question. This isn't just about a beggar in a train station, it's about all of us. If your reality is really just a reflection of how you see yourself, then who are you really? And maybe more importantly, who do you want to become?